Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be telling you what wives will never admit to single women. Now, single women, listen up because you do need to hear this. Married women will never admit this to your face, but behind closed doors, they really do talk. So, let me just start out by saying that some wives have regrets. It is what it is. Some wives have regrets. Some wives have secrets, and you, as a single woman who's trying to get married, you have no idea what you are walking into. But today, I'm going to pull back the curtain and reveal some of these secrets to you. Now, let me start out by saying this. I know I mentioned regret. Some wives regret who they chose to marry. I'm just saying it. It is what it is. Some wives do regret. But they'll never admit that. They'll never tell single women that, and there are a lot of reasons why they do that, I'm not going to get into today because I have a lot to talk about. But I'm just letting you know, single women, that there are some wives that regret who they chose for a husband to marry. So, and some wives will see their single friends doing things out there, being free as a bird, right? And some wives would just, be like, in their heart of all hearts, they may not admit it to you in your face, but in their heart, they're like, man, I really wish I could. I really, they start to envy the type of lives that their single friends are living. And then we all know how that ends up, what ends up happening. Most of these wives end up, in the divorce courts. Then they go out there and chase this freedom, and then they come to realize that it was just chassis. But anyway, like I said, that, we're not even going to get into that video for another day, not today. Now, when you, as a single woman, you see the wedding, it looks all nice and everything. But I'm letting you know right now, single ladies, that the big old lavish wedding, it doesn't replace the poor choices you made when choosing a husband. If you didn't choose the right man, I don't care how lavish your wedding was and how fancy it was and stuff, it's not going to erase who you chose to marry. That's why it's so important to vet the man correctly and marry well. Some wives would wish that they could undo their marriage. And as you have seen in today's day, a lot of wives are undoing their marriage. But I'm just saying, those that stay, some of those that stay in their marriage, these are the type of things that they, most likely would not admit to you. They'll just paint this nice, fancy picture. But I'm here to keep it real because there are other things that you need to know. And I'll be talking about them in the rest of this video. Okay. And let me tell you right now, ladies, regret boils down to just one factor: not understanding men. Yes, ladies, you have to understand men if you want your relationship or you want your marriage to work out in your favor. You do need to take the time out to understand men, understand what men want, and especially the man that you're in a relationship with and the man that you want to get married to. Most men have to understand women because men do the chasing. Or let me just say, most men do the chasing and most men do the asking you to be in a relationship with them, asking you to marry them. Therefore, they have to understand women. But yes, ladies, you do need to understand men because you're not going to be in that marriage by yourself. You're going to be in a marriage with him. So if you want to reduce the risk of having all these regrets and things, you do need to understand the men and what the men want so that you can be better prepared for what's coming in a marriage. Okay. Another thing that some married women will not admit, or some wives will not admit, is not only do you have to understand men, but you have to know what the man wants, like how he wants to be respected. You have to understand that. Every man wants respect, but they want respect in different ways. It depends on who you are with in a relationship. So it's important to know what respect means to the man that you are with and considering to get into a marriage with. Okay. You have to do it long term, because remember, marriage was not designed to be a short term thing. Marriage was designed as a long term covenant, like the vows, those traditional vows say, till death. That's what marriage was designed for. And it is possible to get there till death. A lot of people have done it. But in today's day, 2025, a lot of you don't even have that mindset. It's just, oh, yeah, let's just see how things go. Oh, my God. You mean I'm going to commit to you in a marriage and let's just see how things go? Oh, absolutely not. That won't work. That is not having long term in mind. That is just leaving a lot of room for chaos and confusion. So, because of this, a lot of wives are frustrated, or they get frustrated in their marriage because they thought that, well, I love you, you love me, and that's it. They thought that the love they have for each other would carry them through. Or let's just say on the woman's part, she just believed that maybe love for her husband would carry the marriage through. No, marriage does not require love. Or let me just say, in a marriage, love is not enough to carry the marriage through. I've been married for 18 years. I think I know what I'm saying. Love is not enough. Love will not carry you through. You know what will carry you through in your marriage successfully is a set of skills. You need a set of skills to make that marriage flourish, to make that marriage balanced to where he's benefiting and so are you. Everything is working out in your favor and also in his favor. That's what marriage is supposed to be all about. You and I get together and we're doing this life thing together in holy matrimony, but it's supposed to be healthy and successful. That's the definition of marriage. Men don't just want love. Men want respect. Men want peace, because remember, men bring peace. They already are coming peaceful. They just don't want you to bring your chaos into their peace and disrupt their peace. Men are not asking that you give them peace. When they say, when you hear men say, oh, I want peace, they're not saying, come and give me peace. Men are like, come into my life. I provide the life. Come in, let's work together and keep the peace that's already there that the man brings. So when women start saying things like, well, why do I have to give him peace? Baby, what do you want to give him instead? Chaos? Remember, whatever you give, you get back. So if you give chaos, then you're going to get chaos back. There's just no way, God don't like ugly. There's just no way that you're going to come into a marriage, because the man provides the marriage. That's why men do the asking, and you're coming in. But when you come in, you have to blend in to, whatever lifestyle that he's going to be providing. He provides the platform. The platform is the marriage. What set of skills are you bringing in to make that marriage flourish? You can't just come in, bring yourself in, and everything is supposed to pan out. No, ma'am, it's not going to work that way. Your marriage is going to tank and it's going to end up in the divorce court. If you cannot manage yourself as a single woman, when you come into your marriage, you are going to crash it, and you are going to crash right along with it. So you really got to be careful, ladies, when you are stepping into marriage, that you are listening to married women, not single women. If you are marriage minded, you want to be able to listen to married women who will give you the truth. Married women who would tell you the things that most wives are not going to say out loud, because they want to forever paint marriage as this sweet, beautiful thing, which marriage is. Marriage can be if you work it the right way. Listen to those women who have skills, who can teach you the skills required to have a beautiful marriage. And mind you, when you're applying those skills, it's not going to feel good for a moment, because you have to apply them and work them in until they work for your benefit and for your husband's benefit. You have to understand that, and when you start understanding men, you will start to see that your sacrifice doesn't feel like this endless thing, like you are in this endless wheel of sacrifice, losing yourself. All you ever had to do was just take out some time to understand the man that you're in, a marriage with, or if you're intending to get married. If you understand him correctly, then what you start sacrificing in marriage, because you're going to sacrifice, there's no way around that. It wouldn't feel endless, and it wouldn't feel like you're struggling, and it wouldn't feel like you do not, you don't have a grip of yourself. Listen to married women who have deep experience being married, and not just being married, but being in a successful, healthy marriage. Those are the type of women that you wanna listen to. Now let's talk about sacrifice for a minute. Sacrifice doesn't look pretty. Let me just tell you that. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't feel pretty. However, if you are sitting down and having conversations with your husband, then you guys there's a way you can work both of you are sacrificing, mind you, and there's a way that you can work around that. Because what are you sacrificing really? Career opportunities that you wanted to do, but you missed out, or, let's just say personal freedoms, like, that women say that they had to give up. If you are married to that good, righteous, upstanding, noble man, then both of you can talk about these career opportunities you feel like you missed, or certain freedoms that you felt like you had to give up. Both of you can talk about that and figure out how to work around those things, and figure out how to plug them in at certain points in your marriage, so that it doesn't feel like, to you as a woman, because women, we feel. That's why a lot of women say, I feel like, because we're always feeling. We're emotional women. We're emotional creatures. So that your sacrifice doesn't feel like I gave up everything and got nothing in return. Your marriage should not feel that way. If your marriage starts to feel that way to you, then you as the woman, there's something that you're not doing right. You need to look within and start to check yourself. Okay. So yes, a lot of these things fall on women because we're very emotional. Therefore, we tend to do our marriage from an emotional standpoint. At some point, ladies, you have to check out of your emotion and step into your logical mindset and think these things through with your husband logically, so that it will work in your favor. Now, and so that you're not giving up and you're not getting back. Ladies, if you don't have the mindset of we in a marriage, then don't even bother getting married. If the man says, oh, will you marry me? Don't say I do. If you are not that type of woman that's, togetherness, if you're not working together with him and partnering up with him to do life together in a marriage, together, not by yourself in a marriage, together, don't get married, because marriage is going to require you to give up I, mine, my, for us, and we. If that doesn't sit well in your spirit, please don't get married and mess up the name of marriage and mess up what marriage stands for. Just don't do that. Marriage is a holy, institution. It's a covenant, and it's a strong commitment that you have to take seriously. It's not a casual thing that let's see if it works out, and if it doesn't work out, oh well, we just give it up. Please, no. Some of us out here are holding up the torch for marriage, because marriage is a beautiful thing if done right, and if you chose the right man. Okay, and if the right man chose the right woman. And just put that out there as well. But since this is a female channel, this is a channel for single women that, are intending to get married, and also for married women. That's what this channel is all about. Another thing, ladies, this, you know, I'm always going to be happy in my marriage. Yeah, you're not always going to be happy. There are some things that married women will not admit to you when it comes to this happiness thing. Let me tell you the truth. A lot of wives put on, this brave face, but deep within them, some of them are crying. Some of them are crying themselves to sleep. Some of them feel invisible in their marriage. So single ladies, when you're out here, idolizing marriage, you see women with their wedding rings and you're just, it looks so, you romanticize the wedding and you're like, ooh, you see all these beautiful, wonderful things on, Instagram Reels and other social media platforms. I am here to tell you that you are going to have, once you get married, along your marriage journey, you're going to have periods of time where your marriage is falling apart. You're going to have periods of time where you can't stand your husband. You look over to him, you're like, I don't know who this guy is, and I don't even love him anymore. Those times are going to come up, ladies, and you're going to feel lonely. There are going to be dry spells or dry seasons in your marriage, and there's going to be, emotional distance from your husband. Oh, it's going to come. And if you've never heard this from married women, hear it from me today. Those things are going to happen. It's a matter of, are you ready to do what it takes to combat these things that happen in marriage? I call these the valleys. When you're in the valley in your marriage and all these things, these negative things start showing up in your marriage, you have to have those sets of skills to combat or to work yourself out of the valley of your marriage back up to the mountaintop in your marriage. And if you didn't have those set of skills or those skill sets, and guess what? You're going to wake up one day and both of you are going to be in a divorce court. Or you're going to stay in your marriage and have so much resentment for your husband. You're going to be so miserable, and then he's going to be miserable, and then you're going to resent him. And who wants to live that kind of life? So that's why you see a lot of women on social media saying, I'm not happy. I left him because I wasn't happy. We grew apart and this and that. Yeah, you're going to grow apart. What's wrong with you, ladies? Yeah, it's going to happen. But you were never meant to leave your marriage when when you found yourself in the valley, because marriage is not straightforward. No. But then when you think about it, life in general is not straightforward. Life has its ups and downs. Don't think that marriage is not a part of life. Don't think that marriage won't have its ups and downs. I mean, as long as you are a human being and you live on planet Earth, well, yeah, marriage is going to go do one of these, up and down. So when you're in the down, when you're in the valley, you can't stay in the valley. Your marriage will be in the divorce court in the valley. You have to know what to do to raise that marriage back up and put it back on the mountain and keep going. Okay? Those things are going to happen. A lot of wives will not admit that to you. They're just going to be, oh, marriage is a wonderful thing. Yes, it is. And if you see women genuinely being happy or being satisfied, because happiness comes and goes, but satisfaction is what's linear. When you see women being genuinely satisfied with their husband in their marriage, those are the women you want to go to and ask them, hey girl, what's up? Tell me a few things. She will sit down and open up to you and your jaw will drop. Like, you mean marriage is like this? Yeah, but let me tell you, once you have those skills to marry correctly, marriage would be so enjoyable for you and your husband. As long as you have the mindset of me and my husband working together, trust me, that's more than half the battle of marriage. So I'm not trying to scare you, you ladies. No. I'm not trying to scare you, because in marriage, as you're trying to be happy and satisfied, remember that there are bills to pay to be paid. You got to pay bills. You got to work through stress, and you got to compromise. How do you keep your marriage afloat when you got bills to pay? You got to compromise, and you got to work through stress. A set of skills is what you need to have. And if your mother didn't raise you to have those set of skills, if your father didn't teach you how to be a wife, then, and then if you didn't learn it from somewhere, then I don't know what to tell you. That's why I created my channel, to help women, because I realized that women's major problem is they're lacking a set of skills to cooperate with a man. In a nutshell, if I have to summarize this thing, that's just what it is. You don't know how to cooperate with a man, a good man, not any kind of man. Please don't bring that foolishness to my channel. I am talking about the good, honest, faithful man that you ladies say you want. That's the type of man I'm talking about. You don't know how to cooperate. No one taught you, and you refused to learn. Because we're in the age of information. We're in the age where no woman has an excuse and say, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I was never raised that way. Okay, fine. You can't go back in time and correct your upbringing, but you can correct things moving forward. You can learn things. Us ladies, we're learning, things every day. Oh, you can learn how to cooperate with the man. You can learn those set of skills that are necessary to keep a marriage going smoothly and enjoyable. Finally, a husband is not a magic fix. Marrying a man will not fix you. It will not fix your marriage either. You are the fixer-upper. You and that man are going to fix whatever needs fixing in your marriage to make it wonderful. Otherwise, you are going to tank in your marriage. Because what does marriage do? Marriage exposes you, who you really are, to your husband, and marriage exposes who your husband really is to you. That's where, it's almost like a mirror put in front of your face. So ladies, drop down in the comment section and tell me what you think about this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.